Hello, everyone. This is Tim Bryce with the National Weather Service here in El Paso, and I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you all about the upcoming winter weather that we're going to see this weekend. Now, the good news is Christmas Day is looking good. Highs in the mid to upper 60s, partly cloudy skies, winds from the west at 10 to 20 miles an hour. So Christmas Day is not looking too bad. I know a lot of you are in town for the Hyundai Sun Bowl the day after on Christmas, the day after Christmas, and that day's looking a little problematic, and I'll show you why in some detail here. But first of all, for those of you who are visiting, I did want to show you a map, just so you understand. I've traveled in the past, and sometimes I don't know where I end up. And El Paso is basically in far west Texas. And basically to our east, we have Hudspeth County. El Paso is in El Paso County. So if you hear any watches and warnings, be listening for El Paso County. That's the county that we're in. To our north, Las Cruces is in Doña Ana County, and we have Otero County with the largest town in it is Alamogordo. Further north on I-25 is Truth of Consequences. So basically, I-25 runs north out of El Paso up through Las Cruces to Truth of Consequences. I-10 runs west to east, so basically comes up through Hudspeth County and then comes up along the Rio Grande, comes through El Paso, and then moves on into southern New Mexico after it crosses through Las Cruces and heads out towards Arizona. So basically, I did want to orient everyone basically to where El Paso is. I know a lot of you know where El Paso is, but this was just a chance for some of our visitors here in town to see where El Paso is. So what is going to happen? Well, I know that there's a lot of severe weather going on right now in the Midwest part of the country. They've got tornadoes in Mississippi, Tennessee, Indiana, and Illinois, and our hearts go out to all the people being affected by those. That particular storm system is not the storm system that will be affecting us. Our storm system will be coming in from the west and will be moving in and then later in the week. So let me get my PowerPoint presentation up and going here, and so that you guys can see that on the screen. So let me throw up the screen here. So first of all, I want to say a big thank you to my coworker, Tom Bird, who put together this presentation and did a great job. He always does a great job with our graphics. But basically what we're expecting is a significant snow event. We're expecting heavy snow across all of southwestern New Mexico and far west Texas, starting early Saturday morning. That'll be out west, and ending Sunday night into Monday morning. Expected snowfall amounts, well, we could see a lot, especially in the Sacramento Mountains. You're expecting up to 2 feet of snow there, believe it or not. And that's not terribly uncommon. They do get that a couple times each year. So I know the ski patchy will appreciate the snow that they can get up in the mountains. But 12 to 24 inches of snow will be significant. If you're planning on heading up to the mountains, either head up early or perhaps plan on making delays. Down in the lowlands for places like Truth of Consequences, El Paso, and Las Cruces, right now our forecast is calling for 3 to 7 inches of snow. And I know for us down in the lowlands, that's a significant amount of snow. Parts of El Paso County haven't seen measurable snow since January of 2013. So that's almost 3 years. And you have to go even further back to, I think, November of 2007 when we got our, maybe it was November of 2009, when we got our last really heavy snow event here in El Paso, when we got over 6 inches of snow. So we are talking about a significant amount of snow, and that's going to cause us problems. West of the Continental Divide, we could also see some 1 to 3 inches of snow. So, and I'll show you exactly where that's going to break out. So let me move forward here. Travel, if you're planning on traveling into the El Paso, southern New Mexico area, or planning on traveling out, we are going to probably have likely road closures Saturday night into a good part of the day on Sunday. So the road that goes through the mountain in El Paso, Trans Mountain, that will likely be closed. Also Anthony Gap and some of the other passes, San Agustin Pass just outside of Las Cruces, Emery Pass outside of Silver City in Grant County, likely closed. It would not be a surprise to see I-25 north of Hatch as you head up towards Truth and Consequences, that to be closed. Also I-10 east of Sierra Blanca, so that's east of El Paso. I-10 East likely could be closed as well. So if you're planning on driving around on Saturday night into Sunday, if you're going to make your travel plans, plan accordingly and take these potential road closures into effect. Also remember, we could see some treacherous driving conditions around El Paso. You know, so many here in El Paso, we've built so many elevated highways lately that we could see, they freeze up first, and they're the ones that close first. So, you know, Spur 601 could close, the Spaghetti Bowl could close, the new Spaghetti Bowl out on the far east side could also close. Anything with an elevated roadway is going to be likely to freeze up first and turn to ice and become very slippery and hazardous. But with that much snow, we're expecting most of the streets around El Paso will be snow-packed and hazardous. So it's just not a good idea to be planning on driving around the area on Saturday night into Sunday. Also, keep in mind that we may see some air traffic delays. Low clouds and fog may also help restrict some of the flights, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, especially as we go through the day on Saturday. Also, we don't get a lot of snow here, so people aren't used to walking around or driving around on it. Slips and falls could be a problem. So that's just something to be aware of. If you do have to go out, wear some sturdy boots and just be very careful as you walk around. Also, exposure concerns. You know, Sunday, if when the snow gets in here, we're not going to warm up at all. Highs in the mid-30s on Sunday. Yeah, I said that right. Highs in the mid-30s on Sunday. And that's down here in the lowlands. Up in the mountains, it's going to be even colder. We will have some wind, so it's going to make the wind chills even colder. Monday morning, it could be very cold. Teens for low temperatures. So just something to be concerned about. Also, some things to be aware of is the events. The big one for El Paso, of course, is the Sun Bowl. You know, it's going to be a difficult thing for the Sun Bowl. I'm thinking that the Sun Bowl is going to start off. It's going to be cold. Highs that day it's going to be cloudy. It's going to be highs in the mid-40s with a chance for rain. So if you're going to the Sun Bowl, plan on for sure dressing warmly and dressing for the potential of rain. So you might want to take a poncho. There is a chance that the cold front could get in here before the Sun Bowl is over and change that rain over to snow. Right now, that's not what we're forecasting. Right now, we're forecasting the cold front to move into the El Paso area between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Saturday night. But I can't say it's not out of the realm of possibility. So if you do go to the Sun Bowl, just be prepared for a variety of weather that may occur. Dress warmly and dress for rain for sure. And we could even see some snow by the end of the game. But more likely, the snow is going to happen after the Sun Bowl wraps up. Also, keep in mind, we've seen in the past, the homes around the area are not really built for very, very cold temperatures. So we might have some concerns with pipes and plants and, of course, your pets that happen to be out. So make sure that you take all the precautions there as far as protecting against that cold weather. All right, how confident are we all about all of this? Well, let's see. As you can see, we have high confidence for the lowlands that we're going to see 3 to 7 inches of snow. So you're talking about Truth and Consequences, Las Cruces, El Paso, on down towards Sierra Blanca. We actually have very high confidence that places like Cloudcroft are going to see, as I said, almost 2 feet of snow. A little harder to say out west of the divide for Deming, Silver City, and Lordsburg, where they could see 1 to 3 inches. And I'll show you in the graphic that my coworker Tom put together here in a minute exactly why it's not as sure how much snow we're going to get out west. Here's the reason why. We've got 2 models that we look at that have come in of late. And you can see that they definitely have the same pattern where the heaviest snow, that's where your purples and your pinks and your reds are are trending further to the east. So the Sacramento Mountains, like I said, likely to get very heavy snow, even in the central part of the lowlands. Out west, you see there's kind of a mix of less snow, especially in this one model on the left. It's called the GFS model. The ECMWF model, which is the European model on the right, has a little bit more snow. So that's one of the things we're trying to keep an eye on as far as the potential for snow, how much in the western part of our area is going to see that snow. Well, here's real quickly what is going to be causing all of this weather. Basically, you've got a cold front moving in from the northeast, and that's going to be some very cold air, and it's depicted right here on the map, moving through the Texas Panhandle, moving through the East Plains of New Mexico. Out west of us is this upper level storm system. It's going to swing down to our south, as you see here, by Sunday morning. The cold front has already gone through, so the cold air is in place, and then this upper level storm system is what generates the precipitation. And in this case, normally, you know, we would get rain, but with the cold air in place, anything that falls by late Saturday night into Sunday is going to be frozen, and it's going to be snow. By Monday morning, you see the upper level low is now exited. It's heading into central Texas. We will still see some maybe wraparound snow, especially in the Sacramento Mountains. So we could potentially see snow in the Sacramento Mountains basically early by Saturday midday all the way through early Monday morning. If the system slows down, we could even see some lingering flurries in El Paso, Hudspeth counties early into early Monday morning. Here right now is our best guess of what we think is going to fall for snow. Like I said, less snow to the west. You see the 2 to 4 inches. Here's a dimming 4 inches. As you get into the central part of the area, in the Rio Grande Valley, you got 5 inches for Las Cruces and El Paso, 6 inches up towards Truth of Consequences, Alamogordo at 5 inches. Then when you get into the mountains, Cloudcroft, 17 inches. So that's almost a 1.5 feet of snow. And I'm sure other places in the mountains could see some significant snows, like I said, up to 2 feet of snow there in the mountains. So we are talking about some significant snows. We are going to be tweaking that forecast as our models keep coming in and they give us slightly different tracks on this storm system. We will be continuing to treat to figure out exactly what the models are saying as far as the weather goes and where the heaviest snow is going to fall. And that is one of the challenges with this forecast. Where are the heaviest snow bands going to form? Where are they going to fall? And the challenge for us is you don't ever really know until you really get into the event. I've seen storm systems, as it kind of says here, that Las Cruces will get 5 inches of snow and El Paso will get 1 to 2 inches of snow. And then the next snow event that we have, it's flip-flopped. It's the other way around. So challenge is kind of narrowing down where those heaviest snow bands will develop. But generally speaking, you're going to see 5 to 7 inches of snow across Las Cruces into El Paso. Timing of that rain turning over to snow is going to be a challenge. How quickly is that cold front going to get in here? Is it going to get in here by Sunday afternoon? I've got some hints that it might try to sneak in by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But like I said, right now we're leaning more towards the later evening, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for El Paso. Now places east and north of us, it's gonna start snowing. That cold air is going to get in sooner. So keep that in mind as you go through the day on Saturday. Out west, it's going to take, especially for places like Deming, it may start off as light rain, but then depending on how quickly we get cold air in, it too will turn over to snow as well. And then how quickly the storm exits the region is, like I said, if it slows down, we could see some light accumulations even into Monday morning. So that's something also that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Right now, we don't have any warnings or advisories out, but very soon we could, especially starting tomorrow, we'll likely have a winter weather watch out. And then later on in the week, on probably Christmas Day or the day after, we'll be issuing our winter weather warnings and our winter weather advisories. Most likely the warnings will include the mountains, of course, and the lowlands east of the divide, and the weather advisories, which is for a little less snow, which would be out west of the lowlands. So that would include counties like Luna, which includes Deming and Lordsburg. So Once again, summarizing everything, road closures are likely, especially in the mountains, and also very likely down here in the lowlands as far as the roads being closed, I-10, I-25, also the areas of where you have the elevated highways. Those will likely be closed as well, expecting treacherous driving conditions. So be aware of that. Just make plans. Make sure you have plans on. You're probably just not going to want to be planning on driving anywhere Saturday night into Sunday. Also, be careful about those slips and falls. Take precautions now. Know what you're going to do with your plants. If you happen to have anything outside that you want protected, you can try to get it inside or get it protected. If you got any pets, make sure that they have a place to take shelter, either inside or make sure that they have a nice warm place to hold up. So we are looking at a significant weather event coming up. And it's just everyone's best interest to kind of be ready for it. I'll quickly show up the screen one more time to kind of show our social media contacts for everybody. But basically, we're on Facebook, NWS El Paso. Just do a search for NWS El Paso, Twitter at NWS El Paso, and YouTube, of course, as you're seeing, is NWS El Paso. I wanted to check real quick to see if we'd gotten any questions on Twitter. If you do have any questions, feel free to tweet me. I do got one question here from No. Will the system have much wind, making blizzard-like weather in El Paso? Right now, it's not. That's a great question. We don't usually. I tell people we get wind, we get snow, but we don't usually get the blizzard conditions. And that looks like the case here as well. But I will say this, that it does look like it will be windy for sure Saturday afternoon. I don't think we're going to, the Weather Service has a very specific criteria for winds as far as what makes a blizzard. So I'm not sure we're going to quite reach that criteria. Though in the mountains, especially the Sacramento mountains, we might touch that criteria. That's something we're going to be evaluating. I think that's a good question. So right now I'm not expecting it, but I am expecting it to be cold. We are expecting a lot of snow, and it will be breezy. So I think that was a great question. So here's another question in from Elena. Do you think there will be one specific area of El Paso or Las Cruces that will be harder hit than the others? The answer is more than likely yes, but I can't tell you where that would be. Historically, Northeast El Paso seems to get more snowfall than the other parts of the city. The reason is they're tucked in there next to the mountains. We're going to have upslope flow. That basically means the air is moving up the mountains. So it's going to give that extra lift. So we're going to see a little extra lift, especially on the east side, that will give us that enhanced snowfall. So I wouldn't be surprised to see enhanced snowfall in, especially like Northeast El Paso. Other parts of town, it's like the rain we get during the summer. Sometimes the west side of town gets rain and the east side doesn't. Sometimes the east side gets it and the west side doesn't. Same thing. I've seen it where it's snowed a lot on the east side and the west side hardly gets any. I've seen it flip the other way around. If I had to guess, with this particular storm scenario, east side is more likely to get more snow than the west side. Just again, for that upslope flow, the winds will be coming up from the east and then moving up the Franklin Mountains. That might actually help Las Cruces a little. You guys aren't as close packed into the Oregon Mountains there, so you won't get that downsloping effect. So I'm not sure Las Cruces, any part of town, is going to be a favorite location up there. But Northeast El Paso could likely see enhanced snowfall. So that's a great question. So again, if you got any other quick questions, you could tweet me at NWS El Paso real quickly. But like I said, we are expecting to see a significant snowfall. Christmas is going to be good, but the day after, most of the day will be cold, cloudy, with a chance of rain. And by that evening, make plans that we are going to see some significant snow starting, and it will continue on through Saturday night into Sunday. So make any travel plans. Don't plan on traveling late Saturday or for a good part of the day on Sunday until they can get the streets all cleared up and get that snow off there. So without any other questions, I appreciate your time and everyone joining me. As always, join us to get the latest forecasts at our webpage, weather.gov/El Paso, or keep an eye on Twitter at NWS El Paso or Facebook, again, NWS El Paso. So thanks for joining me. And be safe, have a happy holidays, and I hope to be talking to you soon.